Hello everyone, this is Swapna from Magic Paper Pixie. I hope all of you are doing well and staying safe. For today's video, I have 3 card tutorials for you based on the theme of shabby chic and vintage, which is the monthly challenge for the Craft Angles blog. So for these cards, I've taken the card bases as 5 by 6 inches. I'll also be using the Felicity collection by Craft Angles, the pattern papers, which are 6 by 6 in size. I'll also be using chipboards from the Craft Angles collection. I've already used a few of them from this particular set for a previous project, as you can see. These chipboards are versatile and can be used for any scrapbooking or card making project. So let's get started with our first card. So for the first card, I have used the stamp set saying "You're in my thoughts." I have used the stamp set a lot of times in my previous videos as well. This time I'll be stamping this image with an archival ink which is brown in color. I just wanted to change up the look of the card since it is more vintage themed. I decided to use the ink Java Bean by Ranger, the archival ink. I then color the image using Tombows. You can use Tombows directly on your paper, or if you want to give a lighter shade, you can spread your ink on an acrylic block, spray some water, and then go ahead with a brush or a water brush pen over the image as well. For this particular card, I have used my water brush pens to give lighter shades of the same color towards different parts of the flower. Here I have sped up the coloring process since it's quite repetitive and monotonous. But the basic principle that I have used is I have kept the center of the flower darker while it gets lighter towards the edges of the petals of the flower. Once I was happy with the coloring of the stamped image, I decided to fussy cut this image with my scissors. Whenever I fussy cut an image, I always make it a point to go over the edges of the image with a dark marker. In this case, I have used a brown color marker since I stamped the image with brown ink. Now for the next step, I have used the smooth watercolor paper which is made of 100% cotton by Craft Angles. I just measure the A5 size paper to ensure that it fits over my 5 by 6 card panel. Once I've measured down the watercolor paper, I have taken a background stamp that I had in my stash. I wanted to give a light print image on the background. So here I have used the Vintage Photo Distress Oxide and gone all over the stamp set with a very light hand. I didn't want a very dark background image. I directly used the stamp on top of my watercolor paper. You can also use a stamping platform to ensure that it is perfectly aligned. I was not looking at a very correct alignment. In fact, I had to double stamp certain areas of the paper, but I wanted a shabby look. So this is how the cardstock looked. After that, I used the Distress tool by Tim Holtz and went over the cardstock, the watercolor cardstock, to give it a more jagged, rough edge. And I like the distressed look that the paper gives. I then was trying to look at combinations and how the flower will look on top of this particular watercolor panel. So I die cut a few tags with gold mirror cardstock and craft cardstock and tried to see which combination goes better. I also attached certain strings to the tags and was at this point playing around with the placement just to see what would look good on this card. Once I decided the placement, I have used double-sided tape on all the elements of this card to give it more dimension and to just give it more space to play around with more elements. I have also used a small foliage die which I distressed with some ink and tried to add it along with the flower. I also used a little bit of cheesecloth and used some distress ink with water on top of it. The distress ink I used here is antique linen, and let it dry and then pasted it behind the flower. I then used the antique linen distress oxide and went over the edges of the watercolor panel. and finally put all of them together. I would definitely recommend taking a picture in case you forget the placement that you like while you're playing around with these images. I then decided to use a craft cardstock as a background on top of the card panel and then adhere this watercolor panel on top of it. And I decided to place the watercolor panel in a slightly oblique way, not perfectly straight, since I thought it gives a different look to the card. I then splattered some ink and stamped the sentiment "Sending Hugs" and attached some jewels and sequins. This is how the card looks finally. Now for the next card, I decided to play around with pattern papers from the Felicity collection of Craftangles. So to be very honest, I was just going with the flow and picking out papers and trying to see which chipboards, which laces and which papers would go together for this particular card. So I was still debating between the sentiments that I'll be using for this particular card, but I like the black polka dotted pattern paper in this collection, so I decided to use my tool and distress it. I also picked out two floral pattern papers along with the black one, which I thought complements this pattern paper, and cut it into small tags and strips. Here I'm still wondering how to place the silhouette of the couple, the chipboard sentiment, the papers, the flowers and the lace together. This entire process of mixed media, shabby chic is usually extremely experimental. You need to try out different combinations and see what looks nice, which color combination you think goes better with the card. There's no defined process, but I do recommend playing around with the elements of the card as much as you can. I then decided to use some antique linen distress oxide on the edges of my chipboard to give it a more defined look. Once I liked how I placed the elements on the card, I went ahead and took a picture on my cell phone to make sure I remember the placement, and went ahead and then glued everything down together either with double-sided tape. For the flowers and the other elements, I have used a liquid glue just to ensure that it gives me some flexibility to move around the elements just in case I make some mistakes with my placement. Here I have sped up the video just in the interest of time while I was playing around with the placement and gluing everything down together. I then used stickles. You can use any golden or any glitter glue, and used my finger and have gone over the chipboards and the flower images just to give it a little bit of extra shine. This is how the panel looks, and I wasn't sure how I'm going to adhere it, so I again decided to use the rest of my watercolor cardstock, and before finally adhering it on top of the final card panel. I like the textured look of the watercolor paper, especially in shabby chic and vintage cards, and that's why maybe I have used it quite a bit in all my vintage cards and floral cards. I decided to use the antique linen distress oxide just to distress the edges of the watercolor panel before adhering it on top of the final card panel. And this is how the card looks. Now for the third card, I have used a stamp set, Just a Note by Craftangles. This time again, I have stamped the image using brown archival ink on cardstock, but this time instead of using bright colors for coloring my flower, I use shades of brown along with a water brush just for a more vintagey look. This card is extremely simple. I haven't really done much of coloring or I haven't used too many elements in the card as well. Once the stamped image was colored, I fussy cut the image again, and this time I was trying to place the fussy cut image on top of a craft colored note card. So here I am looking at combinations of how I might like to place the stamped image on top of the craft cardstock. I was playing with some lace that I had in my stash along with a sentiment chipboard saying Happy Valentine's Day. I know that Valentine's Day is really far off, but it really never hurts to have a card for every occasion ready in your stash. So I decided to keep this card really simple, and I decided to go with the lace, the chipboard and just the fussy cut image. Once I liked the placement of all the elements in the card, I decided to use a double-sided foam tape to tape down the fussy cut image on top of the craft cardstock, whereas I used a liquid adhesive to adhere the chipboard as well as the lace on my cardstock. Here I was still wondering what I should do with the background, if I should leave it plain or still stamp something. So I used a script stamp set that I had in my stash and used some unicorn white ink and stamped it around the craft cardstock very lightly just to give it a more background effect. I used some handmade paper as a back panel before adhering it on top of my final card panel. And here is the final look of the last card. Here is a closer look of all 3 cards that we made in today's video. Please let me know how you liked them. And do not forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe to this channel for more ideas and inspiration. Until later, stay safe, take care and happy crafting.